On the 16th of June 2018, Argentina played Iceland in the FIFA World Cup. The score from that game was a draw, a result that nobody had expected. If a country like Iceland, with a population of just 360,000, can manage such a feat, then why can't India, a large country with over 1 billion people, do it? Why does India lack a football culture? To understand why, we have to look at the beginnings of football in India. The first known official international tour of the Indian team, which at that time consisted of both Indian and British players, was in 1924, when it was led by legendary Indian footballer Gosta Pool. In the late 1930s, football teams comprised entirely of Indian players began touring Australia, Japan, Indonesia, and Thailand. The first international match India played before independence has yet to be confirmed, but it can be traced back to a match India played against Ceylon in 1933. In a match held in Calcutta on July 4, 1936, India faced a visiting Chinese team. The game ended in a 1-1 tie. The All India Football Federation (AIFF) was established in 1937 in response to the international success of several Indian football clubs. The national team's first match as an independent country was against France in the first round of the 1948 Summer Olympics. Using mainly barefooted players, India were defeated 2-1 in London. In 1950, India managed to qualify for the 1950 FIFA World Cup, which was scheduled to take place in Brazil. However, India withdrew from it. This was due to the withdrawal of all their opponents during the qualifying round from the travel costs, lack of practice time, and valuing the Olympics more than the World Cup. Despite the AIFF's explanation, many historians and pundits believe India pulled out of the World Cup because FIFA imposed a rule prohibiting players from playing barefoot. However, according to then captain of India Sailen Munna, the story of the team not being allowed to play due to wanting to play barefoot was not true, and was just an excuse to cover up the real reasons the AIFF decided not to travel to Brazil. Since then, India has not come close to qualifying for another World Cup. Many Indian fans ponder on what could have been. Even if they had come to the World Cup and still got knocked out, a valiant group stage exit could have paved the way for more funding and eventually more appearances in the FIFA World Cup. So why doesn't India have a strong football culture? There are a number of factors. One argument is that there is a lack of interest in the game. Although the number of people watching football are nothing compared to cricket, India does quite have a lot of fans, and recently many Indian channels have started broadcasting European games, so India's performance is not based on a lack of interest. Second, India lacks adequate sports facilities and a large number of football-specific stadiums. Many African and Latin American countries have even worse infrastructure than India. However, play better than India and are able to participate in the World Cup on a regular basis, as well as produce players who are global heroes. Even the same with cricket in India, where street cricket is most common. Football necessitates less infrastructure than cricket, which requires a wide range of facilities, so it's difficult to blame a lack of infrastructure entirely for the lack of football culture. As a result, we must assume that India's poor football success is not due to a lack of participation or infrastructure. It is something else that holds India back in all true team sports. though it does not appear to hold India back in individual sports such as shooting, weightlifting, wrestling, tennis, badminton and boxing, where India has had the majority of its international success. That is all for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.